up? It is Bones. And in this one, let's go ahead and do another topic video since the last one was pretty interesting, pretty fun. Got to hear a lot of, other opinions and comments, and that was pretty awesome. So I'm not afraid to hear other people's opinions because I have my own and you have yours, and that's completely fine. In fact, when we, get things out in the open, we can all probably learn something and figure out just why, we each think the way we do. So, not afraid to get into the conversation. So, I did see something else that I wanted to talk about. Now, I did happen to catch a glance of the new releases announced by Marvel Legends for the Wolverine 50th anniversary. All looked pretty interesting. And I could pick out some things that, I thought, but I wanted to focus on one thing, and that was the classic Angel figure. Now, Legends collectors have actually been asking for this version of Angel for years, basically because I think they wanted like a new version with new articulation and updated design. That's, as far as I could tell, that is why they wanted it, because there is an older Toy Biz Angel figure that was released at the beginning when Toy Biz was doing Marvel Legends. I actually used to own that figure, but I sold it when I sold all of my Toy Biz Marvel Legends, and I decided to concentrate completely on DC action figures because there just came a time where I had to decide, I was mainly a DC collector, but I would still collect Legends just because of the comics I would read when I was younger. But that's a whole nother story. I digest. Now, one of the main reasons why I wanted to talk about this was because looking at the photos, it kind of got me thinking about how a lot of people have this idea that Legends has superior articulation to McFarlane's DC Multiverse. So once I saw those pictures of the new Angel figure, I kind of was like, what's going on here? Now, the first thing I noticed from the images was the waist articulation. Now, I don't own many Marvel Legends, but I do have my trusty Crossbones Marvel Legends. He will always have a place here just to show you some of the outdated articulation that they use. Now, for a new figure from 2024, this Angel definitely has articulation from 1984. And I just, I'm sorry to tell all the Legends freaks out there, but this is not good. Now, this is not good because you do have this like hinge here by the upper chest. And while it does give a good amount of crunch, I'm not too happy about the way you could see the gap from one side to the other. But that's not the biggest transgression. For me, the worst thing is the actual waist cut. Now, if you look at the image of the Angel, he has this outdated articulation from the Dark Ages. And as I said before, for Hasbro to bring out old articulation with a figure that collectors have been wanting is, something that goes to show you that there's problems in all lines. So once you turn this waist cut, I've never been a fan of this because just look at it. It does not look good. It is not appealing to the eye. If you want to turn them all the way to one direction, just look at the way that cut looks. It is very ugly. Now, another big problem about this is that you have no side to side at the waist. So when you get your new 2024 Angel, you're going to have this outdated articulation. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Hush Superman. And this is just for an example. And if you look at the Hush Superman, he actually has a lower waist ball joint, which allows him to have rotation at the waist. But the way it is designed with the trunks, you do not have that ugly cut, and it looks more natural, more aesthetic, and more appealing to the eye. Now you also have an upper chest cut with a ball, which Marvel Legends has actually started to use more, but McFarlane has been using it since he started doing DC Multiverse. But this gives you even more rotation at the upper chest, while the Legends version completely omits the waist rotation and only gives you the rotation at that ball in the upper chest. While McFarlane actually gives you more options for rotation. You got the waist one, you got the chest one, which allows you to tilt or whirl and have a lot of movement in the upper torso. And there's just one big glaring reason why McFarlane wins this point of articulation and is far superior to this outdated Legends one, because you do get side to side. You're able to rotate your figure and get way more poses. So imagine being able to get your angel figure and twist them and get them in some awesome flight poses the way this Hush Superman does. It ain't gonna happen because Hasbro gave you that prehistoric articulation. So this is like going into the comments where people say that just the first thing out of their mouth is that Legends has superior articulation to McFarlane, DC Multiverse, and if you open your eyes and see what I just showed you, that is not necessarily true, because this Hush Superman has way more dexterity and way more range than your new Angel figure is going to have. That is why I can't understand sometimes why other people are so invested in like what other people collect, because I collect this line, so I should have the freedom to collect what I want. People collect Legends, and I, never tell them anything or go to a Legends comment section. I just have never done that, and I never will, because for me Legends is just a pretty smaller scale. You know what, forget that. To me Legends is just nothing. I don't I don't even really care what they do, because I do not collect that line. But of course, people cannot give me the same respect to just allow me to buy what I want without having to get in the comment section and, spew their lies. But that is your right. You're allowed to do that. That's fine. But I'm just trying to show you the reasons why I think the way I think, of why necessarily DC Multiverse isn't better than Legends. Legends isn't better than DC Multiverse. They're just completely different lines with completely different designs and articulation. And although you may like Legends, I like DC Multiverse, and we should be allowed to leave it like that. Now, why am I actually bringing this up then? And that is because I did notice something else, and that is this. Just look at that cheap work. Hasbro didn't even give you guys any sculpted detail. They just painted that, upper portion of the boots and the gloves without sculpting it out. And as I said before, McFarlane also has done this, but there's a big discrepancy, and that is that Legends has a larger fan base. Supposedly, more than 20 years is enough time to not be doing this stuff, while McFarlane only has 3 years. And I don't know why people expect McFarlane to completely fill out your whole DC multiverse with everything that you want in less than 5 years. As I've always said, patience is a virtue. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon, and we should allow McFarlane to make his profit, but at the same time, innovating and improving the product. But that cannot happen overnight. It is going to take time. Just like Legends has had more than 20 years to fix all their problems and stop their shenanigans, and obviously they have not. Now, obviously, if you look at even our upcoming figures, which is like the Nightwing from Nightfall, McFarlane does the exact same thing. He uses a previously used sculpt and just adds the paint on top. So it's not, unheard of with toy lines. But I just feel like anybody talking false narratives needs to realize that This goes on with most toy lines, especially one that only has 3 years in its infancy. And, you still get it with a company that's been going on for almost 25 years. So that's just something that I wanted to get out. I don't hate Legends. I don't want you guys thinking that that's the whole thing. It's not. You guys can collect Legends if you want. That's fine with me. I could care less. But I collect DC Multiverse. It's not perfect, but every once in a while we get a couple of gems, and that makes it really enjoyable. So why can't we just keep it at that? Because honestly, in the end, some collectors like what they like, and I like what I like. And in the end, we should just leave it at that. Hope everybody's out there enjoying their collections. Because honestly, in the end, there's a lot of people that have bigger things to worry about than toys. So I always count myself very lucky. But you guys keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.
They used to call me Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.